Hello and welcome to 48 Detailing and our newest member of the team, little Elva Dinka. I appreciate you guys joining today. Today is a little bit about our brand new daughter, Elva, joining the family and team here at 48, and of course, our new 1980 Corvette C3. Now, if you know me well enough, some people buy watches when a big thing happens, a big event in their life. I personally like to buy cars. So we bought this 1980 C3 Corvette for our newborn baby Elva. Her nickname is Chickpea, and that is the same nickname that we are giving this brand new, not brand new, but new to us, 1980 C3 Corvette. Now, this is a start of a video series on the restoration of this 1980 C3. Of course, it has been restored in the past, but we're going to go ahead and get it to the condition that we're looking for to get it ready for car show season starting up very, very soon. So with that in mind, in today's video, we're specifically just going to be going over how we wash classic vehicles. Of course, you don't want to go ahead and do like a full hand wash on most of these classics because of all the gaskets and things of that nature. So we're going to go over our waterless and rinseless wash product and a couple other products to go ahead and make sure that this car looks shiny and protected until we get to the point of fully restoring the paint and ceramic coating it. So with that in mind, guys, join me and Elva in today's video here at 48 Detailing, and let's jump straight into it. All right, just me and you now, guys. The baby Elva and her mom needed to go make a Target run real quick. But till then, we're going to go ahead and wash and clean up the C3 Corvette. Now, you might be a classic car owner yourself. Maybe you're a detailer getting into the classic car game. It's a bit of a different process compared to a brand new car. You have a lot of intricacies involved with these old classic cars. You have chrome you're dealing with, nooks and crannies that can collect a lot of water and cause rust in the future. There's things you just need to look out for. Be a little bit more careful and gentle because they don't make these things anymore, guys. There's a reason why they're classics, they're collectibles, they go up in value. You just want to give it a little specific type of care. It's not something that you can something goes wrong, you can call a dealership and get a brand new part for. It's a lot of time, effort, and money to go ahead and fix something that gets damaged on a car like this compared to, let's say, a brand new Corvette, right? So with that in mind, we have a light layer of dust. This is going to be the first wash from us to the C3 Corvette. We're going to go ahead, as I like to call, baptize it today, but we're going to baptize it in a different way. We're going to use our waterless and rinseless wash system. Now, if you don't know what a waterless and rinseless wash is, it is a process to go ahead and wash the vehicle with a little amount of water. Specifically, we have about 2 gallons of DI water in this bucket right now, and that is all the water that we're going to use, and that's all the water that we're going to need. We don't need to rinse off the vehicle prior. We don't need to rinse off the vehicle after. Essentially, a waterless wash is going to go into this bucket, and we're going to utilize that solution to clean up the light to medium dirt and dusting that's on the C3 Corvette right now. This process is perfect for vehicles like this that don't get taken out very often, and you're really just trying to knock off the dust off the surface on a regular basis and do it very easily, conveniently, and not have to worry about a bunch of water residue in your garage. So right here, we have our waterless wash, Mia Temes, and then we also have our ceramic detailer right over here. We're going to use a combination of these two products to get it cleaned up, and then from there we're going to protect it with our ceramic enhancer, get the tires dressed, and little details here and there. But these 3 products that you see right here is all you're going to need to get this car cleaned up, okay? And just keep in mind, our waterless wash is a concentrate solution, meaning this product can get you tons of this product over here. So it's a really good big bang for your buck going with our waterless wash because it's going to eliminate needing to purchase this. But since I have it on hand, we're going to use both and make it happen today, all right? So let's jump straight into getting this diluted with the 2 gallons of water that we have over here. So I'm going to read the instructions for you right now. You need 1 ounce to maximum 2 ounces of this product per gallon of water. We're going to stick to 1 ounce today. The dirtier the car, the more solution you're going to want to need. But you don't want to go more than 2 ounces because from there you're just wasting product. 2 ounces is going to be the max amount of cleaning. Anything from there, you're wasting product. It's not going to give you any better results. So essentially, about 1 ounce of product is 2 capfuls of the cap that is on the gallon solution, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. I'm gonna take my capful above my bucket, all right? And I'm gonna fill up that capful. It's okay if you have a little bit of spillage. 1, 2, that's about a little over 2 ounces. I'm not the most accurate when it comes to filling up the cap. 1, 2, and that is 2 ounces right there, okay? So 2 capfuls equates to about 1 ounce of product. We did 4 capfuls, you got 2 ounces right there, okay? I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna mix that up, okay? That is it. Your wash solution is ready to go, all right? Now what we're gonna need is some nice quality microfiber towels. You can find these on our website. These are my favorite towels for waterless and rinseless washing, all right? We're gonna open up our pack. Comes with 10 towels in a pack, guys. Nice fresh pack of towels. And you can see it's two-sided. You got a thin nap and a thicker nap on this side. But the thing I like about these towels, when you throw them into the waterless wash solution, it almost feels kind of like a sponge, all right? Very soft, very gentle, and absorbs the dirt on the surface very easily. So I'm gonna go ahead, with a car this size, I'm probably gonna need about 5 to 6 towels, okay? So we got 1, toss that in, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I need a little bit more, I'll grab more, okay? Really gonna depend on the size of your vehicle, but I'm gonna get these completely soaked inside the bucket, okay? After they're completely soaked, I'll put my extra towels to the bottom. Of course, during the process, we're gonna need a drying towel as well, and that is it. We have our solution, we have our cleaning towels, and we have our mop-up or drying towel right over here that you can find online on our website as well. Now, we can go ahead and start washing. No need for a pressure washer, a garden hose, and this and that. This is all you need. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. So, first things first, I want to look at how dirty the car is. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is not that bad. It's just a light dusting on top of the surface. I would say I'll give it like a 3, maybe a 4 at worst, okay? So with that in mind, if it's anything underneath a 5, you can go ahead, take your damp towel and your rinseless wash solution over here, fold it into 4s, and start wiping the surface that you're working on. Anything past the 5, I would very much recommend grab your ceramic detailer, which is the same product as our waterless and rinseless wash, just diluted in a ready-to-use format, and then prime the surface to soften up the dirt and grime, and then go ahead and use your towel to wipe down the surface. So I'm gonna give you an example of both, okay? We'll start off with just using the rinseless wash solution in our bucket. I have my towel right here. It's really wet, as you can see, but I basically get it to a point where it's not dripping. Soaked, but not dripping, okay? I have it folded into 4s right now, meaning I got 8 sides to work with while I'm washing the car, right? So I'll go ahead and start on this glass T-top roof. I'll work a section real quick, just like that. You see all that dirt that it collected on there? I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna grab my drying towel, and I'm gonna simply just take my drying towel and dry off the leftover product residue on the surface. And you can see a beautiful clean surface, scratch-free. Of course, if you're abusing this process and trying to clean a super, super dirty car and using old towels and not flipping to new sides of the towels, you're gonna damage the paint, right? But if you do it methodically, you do it properly, and for the right reasons on a vehicle, you're gonna get great results, nice and clean. Now the second way to go ahead and do this, I'll do it on the same section just to give you an example. Let's say the car is a little bit dirtier. Maybe it's a 5 or a 6 out of 10, right? Anything past the 6 or 7 out of 10, I do not recommend using a rinseless and waterless wash. Use a traditional wash method, okay? We're gonna take our ceramic detailer. I'm gonna prime the surface, just like that. That right there is gonna soften up the dirt and grime, and I'll show you this method again on the dirtier portion on the other side or maybe on the rear glass over here, but that's gonna soften up the dirt and grime, encapsulate it, and bring it up to the surface. So now, if this was another dirty panel, rather than using the same side of the towel I used before, I'm gonna flip it. And then I'm gonna start that cleaning process the same way as we did before. You wanna make sure you just go in straight line motions, not Mr. Miyagi in circles. Put the towel to the side, and then go ahead and mop up. Just like that. Giving you a nice, clean surface. Now, the great thing about our waterless and rinseless wash products is you can use it on every single surface on the outside. You can even use it on interior surfaces as well. I'll show you that in a later video, but let's go ahead and move on to the next section and continue the process. All right, guys, so you can see how dirty this rear glass is. Pretty bad. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna spray my ceramic detailer right on top of the surface, okay? And you could already see like that dirt almost disappearing. Honestly, it's instant. And I'll bring you guys into a close-up on the next section over, but as I spray it on, the little specks of dirt that have been there for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, they start to disappear because the polymers in the product instantly start to grab a hold of them and lift them up to the surface rather than just staying on top of the surface and doing nothing like a lot of other products on the market, okay? So I'm gonna continue to spray this. Just a good amount on the surface, the same way that we're doing right now. I'm gonna grab the same towel that we were using. I'm gonna flip it around and look at that. I got another fresh side, not to worry about cross-contamination, right? I'm gonna go ahead, mop it down, just like that. See all the dirt that it collected right there on the towel. I'll put it on the edge of my bucket, make sure not to dunk it back into the clean solution. You always want to make sure to minimize cross-contamination. I'm gonna grab my drying towel and mop it up. So here is a close-up shot of the area that we cleaned compared to the area that we didn't. Don't mind the contamination that's in the window tint underneath the glass. We're gonna go ahead and remove that old window tint and get it freshly applied. The last guy who did the tint didn't do a very, very good job. Not a bad job, but not a very good job. But you could see that before and after from a simple spray down with a ceramic detailer and a wipe down with a waterless and rinseless wash. Isn't that crazy? And you can see it's a nice streak-free finish. Honestly, our ceramic detailer does a better job than most of these quote-unquote glass cleaners that are on the market. Now, we do have a dedicated glass cleaner, but this is a nice all-in-one solution for you to clean glass, paint, chrome, pretty much anything on the outside of your vehicle quickly and efficiently. All right, guys, so you saw the results of what our waterless and rinseless wash can do in combination with our ceramic detailer. Now you're probably asking yourself, how long is this gonna take? Say, you gotta work this section by section. It looks like it's gonna take a while. I'll be honest with you guys, you can blitz through this really quickly, especially if you're working in the garage, because you don't have to worry about water residue, so you're in the shade. You could spray a large section off, get your towels all prepped up on the side of your bucket like I did right over here, and just rock and roll. So right here, I got a little stopwatch. I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and you can see exactly how long it's gonna take me to go ahead and wash this car. So let's go ahead and fast forward and see the results. And by the way, guys, if you don't feel like breaking your wrists, you can always grab a nice pressure bottle, a pump bottle or an electric sprayer, throw your solution in there too, and you're ready to rock and roll much faster. I'm just gonna use our 16 ounce for now. All right, guys, so we're at 4 minutes and 15 seconds. I'd subtract that 15 seconds because I was explaining a few things to you in the portion of the video, but we finished, in the case of this car, about 65% of it in a matter of 4 minutes. I mean, it's a massive front end, right? So if we're really doing the math and you wanted to calculate it, you would probably have an additional maybe 5 to 10 minutes max on the rest of the back end of the vehicle. Doors, windshield, glass, rear end. you're gonna be maximum about 15, maybe at worst 20 minutes in, depending on the size of your vehicle. And this is a pretty long car, okay? Of course, you gotta take in consideration how dirty it is and how fast you can work. But that speed of 4 minutes or so that I was working at was very reasonable. We were able to clean off the whole front end from that dirt and grime. And I'll bring you guys in and give you a good example of it close up. But yeah, pretty fast. I mean, it takes some people longer just to set up their pressure washer, their soap, their foam cannon than 10 to 15 minutes. And you can pretty much clean the whole thing, minus rims and little areas like that, in a matter of 15 to 20, all right? So just to give you a good idea on how long it's gonna take you to clean a car this size, maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. And just show you guys again close up. Hopefully it focuses. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. All right, guys, let me bring you into the front end that we just cleaned in about 4 minutes. That is the single towel that we use. We use both sides. You can see the 4 sides that we use. And then on the back as well, we got some dirt and grime that collected too, but not too shabby. And there's the results of the front end. Nice, shiny, and streak-free. Exactly what we're looking for on this whole front end. Of course, that was the dirt and grime. That was all over the paint as well. And you can see this close-up, all that is gone. Beautiful finish. Nice and smooth as well, because not only are we cleaning with our ceramic detailer and waterless wash, but we're also adding a little bit of protection too. We do have some ceramic polymer protection in there as well. So adds gloss, adds some protection, keeps it cleaner longer, makes it easier to clean the next go around. Now that we've given you an example of the paint, we've given you an example of the glass, let's go ahead and move on to chrome and aluminum finishes. So we're gonna work on the rims, tires, and also the side pipe exhaust. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and clean not only the rims, but also the tires as well. And you're probably asking, Zaya, how are you gonna clean a tire without wheel cleaner, wheel brush, and a pressure washer? Well, it is possible. Of course, you're not gonna get it to the level of clean that you would with the proper product and tools, but you still can do a really good, quick job, especially if the car isn't dirty or really dirty and you're just trying to remove all old dressing and applying new ones to give it a better, fresher look, right? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with the rim. I'm gonna take a towel dedicated for my rims and rims only. You can go ahead and grab the dirtiest towel from your waterless wash on the paint and then use that for rims and tires for the future. But just make sure that this towel doesn't get mixed up with your paint and glass towels, okay? You don't want any cross-contamination from the rims onto the paint, okay? I'm gonna take my ceramic detailer. I'm gonna thoroughly spray the rim itself, okay? Just like this. I want it almost dripping, just like that. Reason why, you're gonna have a lot more dirt and contamination on your rims than you would your paint and glass, all right? And especially on these expensive Krager rims, we wanna make sure we keep that shiny surface looking shiny and new and not scratch it up. Then I'm gonna take my damp towel that's for rims and rims only. I'm gonna fold it in a way that it's comfortable for me to clean the rim. And then we're just gonna gently wipe off that dirt and grime. And I know the rim doesn't really look that bad, because it really isn't. I would say out of a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a filthy rim, 1 being brand spanking new, this is about a 3 or a 4, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and just use my fingers to get into all the nooks and crannies. Very easy, just like that. After I get the whole surface clean, I'm gonna put this towel to the side, and then I'm gonna get a dedicated drying towel just for my rims, okay? Again, you don't wanna mix this up with your paint towels. I'm gonna take my drying towel and then just dry up the leftover product, and then you're set to go. And you can see the shine that's left over. Again, nice streak-free finish, no residue. Exactly how we want these rims to look. You can see how good that looks afterwards. Just like that. Simple, okay? Super, super simple. Not only did we clean, but we're also adding a little bit of gloss and shine, and you can take it a step further by using our ceramic enhancer right after this. I'll show you that later in the video, but that's a super easy, simple way to clean your rims if they're really not that bad, especially on a classic car like this, okay? The rims are clean, protected, residue and streak-free, And if you want to clean the barrels, you can spray down the barrels and the inside of the rim and get that cleaned in the same way as well. Now, you might need a couple more towels on this, just depending on how dirty your rims are, but with the condition these rims were in, we can use the same towel on the rest of the rims and you're pretty much all set to go, okay? Now, we'll go ahead and move on to the tire. Same thing, guys. I'm gonna take a dedicated, just all-purpose towel. I'm not gonna use my rim one. I'm gonna use one dedicated for just the tires. This is a lower grade, general purpose towel that we use at the shop. I'm gonna take my ceramic detailer. I'm gonna spray the tire, excuse me. You might get a little bit back on the rim, but you can mop that up with your drying towel later. I'm gonna take my general purpose towel, kind of fold it like that so I can put a little bit of pressure on the tire. And I'm gonna strip off that old dressing, just like that. Clean it up, get the dirt and grime off and all that old dressing off the tire. You're gonna be left with a nice matte finish and all that dirt and grime over here on your towel. Now you could do this 1 or 2 times, just depending on how dirty your tire is. I'll give it another go. So make sure we get all that old dressing off, so for when we apply that new dressing, it's gonna bond properly and give a nice fresh look to the tire. Just like that. You can still see we picked up a little bit more dirt. Up to you on how far you want to go. 1 or 2 go-arounds is pretty much all enough for these all it needs for these tires, and now we can go ahead and get these dialed in with our tire dressing and ceramic enhancer, okay? And of course, just mop up the leftover ceramic detailer that's on the rim, and you're all set to go. All right, guys, so while we're still down here, I'm gonna show you how we apply our tire dressing as well. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the rest of the rims and tires, but I just wanna give you a quick example on this rim specifically. Very, very easy to use product, water-based solution. It's gonna give you a nice satin finish to your tire, a nice natural look. It's not gonna look overly glossy like a glazed donut. All you need to do is grab your dressing, shake it up a little bit. I'm gonna spray a little bit onto my applicator pad, just like this. And you can find these applicator pads on our website as well. About 3 to 4 sprays is all you're gonna need. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start applying it to the surface and rubbing it in. Just like that. Just go back and forth a few times. Make sure it's all evenly applied to the surface. And what I like to do, especially if I'm at a show and I just parked my car, I take a little bit extra product, not much. I'm gonna make sure to find the bottom, the first tread that you found on your tire. You're gonna grab your applicator and you're gonna go over all the way to that tread as well, all the way around. So it almost acts like a checkpoint for your applicator pad to give your tire a nice, even finish. This is going to give you the best overall look for your tire, especially if you're at a show, because it's a nice straight line for you to follow all the way through, rather than just trying to guide yourself over here on the top edge of the tire. Go ahead and find your first tread point on your tire and go ahead and apply the dressing to that point. Of course, when you start driving the vehicle, it's going to rub off on that area because it's touching the ground. But if your vehicle is parked, ready for a show, best thing to do to make your car stand out above the rest. All right, guys, so we went ahead and threw the microfiber towels in the washing machine. I cleaned off the rest of the Corvette, of course. It took me about 20 minutes to do the whole body, the glass, the rims, the tires, everything. 20 minutes, and I took my time on the rest of it too. So this goes to show how quick and efficiently you can get a vehicle clean, especially a classic car, with the products that we're using today. Now, a lot of people ask, before we move on to our ceramic enhancer, what do I do with the leftover solution in my bucket? And the answer is, you can keep it, use it in the future. All you gotta do is put a cap on the bucket. If you don't have a cap, you could use a little bit of Teflon on top of it, your traditional kitchen Teflon if you like. You can even leave it open. It's really up to you. Just keep in mind it's gonna last you about 5 to 7 days max, okay? So after that time frame, I do recommend to dump it and get fresh product, because the water is gonna start turning yellow, starts to smell a little bit. To avoid that, I would say every week, change it out if you need to, okay? But you don't have to just throw this away. Let's say you got a lot of shows throughout the week. You can use the same product and solution as long as you're not taking your old towels and tossing them into the solution. You're still gonna have good quality product to clean off your car. Now, last and final step. This is not a necessity, but if you wanna add some protection and a bit more pop and shine to the car, go ahead and use our ceramic enhancer. I'm gonna walk you through that process right now. Our ceramic enhancer, of course, is a protective spray solution for your paint, your glass, your plastics, your rubbers, pretty much everything on the outside. Very, very easy to use as well. I'm just gonna use the same drying towel that we use during our cleaning process. You can use a fresh towel as well, but all you gotta do is shake it up, spray it on, buff it off. That's pretty much it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it onto my paint, just like that, section by section. Grab my towel, straight line motions, and then when you flip it around, you're gonna notice your paint become nice and slick. And that's the slickness polymers that's in the product and the ceramic doing its magic, doing its work, bonding to the paint, giving you about 3 to 6 months worth of protection, depending if the car's sitting outside or in the garage, and protecting the paint from environmental fallout, keeping it cleaner longer with its anti-static abilities, and of course, adding some gloss and shine as well. Like I said, this works on all your exterior surfaces, so I'm just gonna go around the whole car, spray it down, get it nice and shiny, and we'll go ahead and see those final results of our project. All right, guys, and that is it for today's video. Of course, we're not completely done with the C3. We got a lot more videos coming up in the restoration series for this car. We're gonna go over paint correction. We're gonna go over ceramic coating installation, interior detailing, aluminum polishing for the side pipe exhaust, and all that good stuff. So within the next few weeks, we're gonna get this car ready for car show season here in Arizona, which we are big fans of. Last year alone, we attended about 20 car shows and car meets that we supported through charity events and also our vendor booths as well. So if you are in the Arizona area, you want to see this car and all of our other show cars that we have available, like our BMW Z4 and our Corvette C8 that we fully restored and got dialed in as well, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment below if you have any questions, and hit that like button if you really did enjoy this video. Thank you again, guys, for joining us, and make sure to stay tuned for future videos. Thank you.